Finishing first feels good, but we still have to take it one game at a time. I, as a player, really enjoy finding the unique counters to stuff. Whenever something comes to the meta, like Na or Maokai, I'm not going to be playing those champions. I'm going to be finding the Yasuo counter to the Na or the Trundle counter to Maokai. I'm just someone who likes to find something that is a really strong counter, but no one knows how to play against. So I'm really comfortable in those matchups. My biggest fear coming to playoffs is I don't want to stuff up. I want to be the reason that we lose. That's not a really good mentality to have. You shouldn't be thinking oh, you should play really safe because you might stuff up. But that is one of my fears, and I don't want that to happen.
Welcome back to the Analyst Desk. My name is Michael Hingersing, and I'm joined here by Jake Spontiberi and Indiana Frosker and Black. We just saw Tally there giving a little chat to that camera, saying he doesn't want to be the reason they lose. I mean, he says it's not a good mentality. That's a terrible mentality,
Yeah,
right?
It certainly is. Good news for Telly, however. He's pretty much never the reason this team loses. This kid's amazing. When he was an AD carry, I remember having big props for him, and then he moved to the top lane and absolutely crushed the Chiefs in one of my first ever casts. And, it was beautiful to watch. And I think that Tally has just gotten better and better like a fine wine. He's still a young kid, but he's still getting better with age.
Definitely an established superstar. And I think the other notable thing that he said there was, trying to find the weird counter picks or try to find that 1v1 matchup. And I think it just plays into Tally's character and the career that he's built as a top laner, as this hard carry style. Yes, he can play everything, but if you isolate that 1v1 matchup, he can go toe-to-toe with almost anyone.
If you're just joining us, we're about to go into Game 3 of this, the first semi-final of OPL Split 2 of 2016. Before we do that, I want to get your guys' ideas. You've seen 2 games, these 10 players. I mean, let's pick out some individual masters who have been destroying in this series. Let me go to you first, Frosco. Who's your pick? MVP.
No offense against, because it's funny, most people would say Tally,
Sure.
Hands down, anytime Legacy win a game, it's typically through Tally. But I actually feel that this is the first series where Tally really hasn't been a major factor. It doesn't help that he's across from Paradise, so we just gave him all that praise. It's definitely still deserved. But I think it kind of speaks to the form that Legacy are currently in right now. If I have to pick an MVP, I'm still going to go with King. I put my cards very heavily on King and Kuden in that bot lane. I said that they were going to be the key to victory in isolated 1v1 or 2v2 matchups.
Sure.
And I think King has just been playing phenomenal, had a great Jhin game. Yes, Kuden got the Legacy MVP in Game 2, but he's got a buddy right next to him.
Jake, you seem like you're in pain right now.
Yeah, honestly, I am. The Rusty somewhere as well, just screaming, because whenever all 3 carries are playing well, the jungler and support are doing something right. And he is that's just a typical rule. And all of a sudden, you have a young man by the name of Kuden. I mean, his Trundle game was absolutely phenomenal. He was interrupting everything with those pillars. Trundle's an easy champion to play. Trundle to play perfectly is incredibly hard. There's so many small nuances in the kit. And then, to pick up something like a Bard, absolutely dominate on it. He had one mistake, which was his AD carry dashing out of his ultimate. So, his mistake was even King's mistake, so I'm giving it to Kuden. I think bottom lane is definitely carrying, but I'd give the man in the support position a lot of the credit.
All right, well, Legacy are up now 2-0 in this series, which means Avant have to win 3 games in a row if they're going to take this semi-final. I mean, it's do or die. This is a young team. They're feeling a lot of pressure right now. Frosco, what do they need to do to get back in this series?
Avant?
Yeah.
So, Cheney Boy and Jake have to survive. And yeah, I do agree. They need to survive, go back to the Ezreal, go back to the Karma, stay away. Unfortunately, Cheney Boy, they've seen the Ash ban. He can't connect with those arrows. He's not connecting this series. So take away some of that responsibility. And I think, like you said, go all in on Triple. He's another carry on the team. Stop putting all of your eggs in just the Paradise basket.
And, maybe this is why I stopped being a coach after about Season 2, but I'm just digging up cheese wherever I can find it. I mean, and Triple is Triple Cheese, so, I'm going to grab something from him, going to put him on the wonkiest champion in history and just see if he can pop off on it. One of his older school assassins I would like to see. I'm hoping for a pick comp, something like an Ahri in the mid lane, something like a LeBlanc. Just see if you can isolate certain parts of the map and pick them apart, because right now the 5v5 isn't working, so just go back to very old school solo queue style League of Legends.
All right, well, as we get ready to throw to our casters and into Game 3, let's take a look at this video.
Doggles are just in the way. Legacy, that's the real target.
Finishing first feels good, but we still have to take it one game at a time. If they underestimate us, we will win.
No matter what happens, no matter what team I play on, I'll always be in it to win it.
Whew. Shivers, Rusty. Shivers down the spine. Of course, Radiant, a new member of Direwolves, and him putting on that jacket. Whew, tomorrow is going to be pretty interesting.
He looks good in green right there. That's the one thing I could take away from that one. I think Tally even tweeted that at one stage.
Yeah.
But we're still not done with our first semi-final, Atlas. Let's not get overexcited for the Raider.
I apologize. It's just, whoa, that video got me going. So yes, do or die most definitely for Avant. 2-0 for Legacy right now. They're looking fantastic, in control of every position. Avant's going to have to pull off a miracle here in Game 3.
The reverse sweep is always in the back of your mind. It's always a lingering possibility, and AV, they're the kind of team that can just pop off at any moment and find a victory out of nowhere. And from thin air, if you underestimate them or you don't have a plan, you will fall.
Certainly will, as AV haven't banned the Vladimir just yet. We'll see whether they take it away, as we are in Champ Select. Malzahar, Gragas, Bard taken away by Legacy, and it's going to be Braum, Trundle, and Talia that are removed on the side of AV, and Vlad just snapped up by Choose. Of course, taking a couple of hits now in back-to-back patches. You can see Tally's pretty happy about the situation.
Even Carbon was being quite enthusiastic by, we have to pick the Vladimir. As AV have responded immediately.
Yeah, Jin and Rek'Sai taken away. Do like it on Shelby and the Rek'Sai, and then Chenny Boy finally getting his hands on that Jim pick. We'll see whether this is going to make the difference.
It could well be. A lot of supports actually being banned means that I wouldn't say it's banned Kuden out, but with Braum gone, Trundle gone, and Bard, that's a lot of his playmaking champions now completely removed.
Is it though? The Soraka's still up, and there is nothing more revolting than Vladimir's Soraka.
Here's the thing.
In League of Legends.
I said playmaking. I specifically said playmaking because I'm expecting a Karma or Soraka to be seen. But we will see.
Well, Carbon actually switching things up, was looking at his Lee Sin, would have liked to see that, but yes, that is the Karma picked up, so not necessarily a playmaking support. We'll see whether Choose decides to play it in the mid lane there as Carbon switches back to the Nidalee. Once again, going to be on the Spear Lady.
I was so ready for the Jarvan. The Wombo is legit. That would have been glorious, but instead, the Nidalee, the champion that he didn't even need a Keystone Mastery on, to find a victory in game number 1.
Yeah.
Might actually have one this time around, and you'd expect his jungling to be improved due to that.
Oh, no, I still want the 12-12 situation. I'm excited about it. As Triple is going to lock away his Victor. Hexcore a little bit more expensive on the prior patches. Channy takes away the Alistair for Jake, so a lot of engaged potential from the bottom side of the map, and AV now with quite a decent team fighting composition at this point.
Yeah, very standard team fight style from them. Victor, Chaos Storm, Jin to be ranged as well. Out of range potentially of Legacy. We've got the Alistar to protect him. They've also got that Rek'Sai to round it out. So front line's there, damage is already there. All they need is Paradise to pick his own champion. That could well be that Aurelia. It could be the Fiora. But this is all of the tools that AV actually want to have to set up a strong 4v4, where Paradise isn't 100% necessary, but having him there is an added bonus.
Certainly is. This Legacy, of course. Just pick up the Aurelia one more time for Tally. 2 back-to-back damn decent performances on the champion. No point changing now as the Karma Sivir bottom lane has been secured by Legacy.
And when you look at the difference in team compositions, the Fiora should be locked in. Legacy have got a comp that doesn't exactly match what AV can do in team fighting, but it's much more of a, if you come at us, we will run away from you, and if we want to run at you, we will catch you. Plain and simple, it's a Karma Sivir comp, it's a stock standard bottom lane that augments your team whilst also having a carry potential between them. So I like what Legacy have got themselves, even with all of these supports being banned. AV, however, have the best bottom lane probably for them.
Yeah, I certainly do. I do love Legacy's composition as far as its flexibility, though. I mean, their poke and siege as well is fantastic. Then their kite back, they can engage utilizing it as well. A lot of speed there as Paradise finally looks back at the Jax, and it will be locked in.
There we go.
If there's ever a game to bring it out, it is most certainly this one, as it's been banned in almost every other game that AV have played. I'm so surprised this is the first time we're seeing it. And this, if there's a matchup in League of Legends, it's fun to watch. It's Jax versus Aurelia.
Yeah, the feelers have been out for AV in games 1 and 2. I think Paradise has now got his eye in the top lane matchup.
Yeah.
Starting to feel a bit of momentum, even if AV as a team are not. Jax into Aurelia. It's the kind of matchup that goes both directions or either direction, quite heavy-handed. And it could go both ways. You'd say Chelby focusing top lane could mean that Paradise snowballs, and the major difference between this game and the previous is that when a Jax is snowballed, a Jax wins the whole game.
Yeah.
The whole thing is his for the taking.
It certainly does. Of course, the first time we saw Paradise on Jax, he debuted it with a 13, 2, and 3 scoreline. So this guy, pretty damn good at the champion, but it's been a while since he's played it. Quite a few weeks. We'll see whether he's still got it in him, but this time I feel a lot more confident in advanced draft, especially.
I agree. I think they've got much more of a, let's just say, simple composition from AV, right? A Victor hits a laser, followed up quite nicely by a Jhin who can come mid lane at any moment and lock down choose. It is a dangerous composition to go against if you're Legacy, who aren't exactly playing the easiest of team compositions to execute on, but they've got the Donkey Whistle. They can just blow that Sivir ultimate, get the Karma Shield and catch people out, or survive if things get a little bit too hot and heated in any lane that they choose to fight.
Yeah.
Both teams are set up in very unique ways, but both quite dangerous.
Yeah, and I think as well the jungle matchup is somewhere we're once again going to have to look at, because Carbon was all over it in game number 1 on the Nidalee, and we'll see whether Chelby can fight back now in game number 3, this do-or-die game for Avant, who need to try and keep themselves in it. Of course, Frostgrim predicted the 3-1 victory for Legacy, and this is her opportunity to find her way to a correct prediction. Spawn right on track right now as Legacy looking to shore it up 3-0. Now on our blue side, now onto the Rift.
And once again, that's the beauty of Avant-Garde. They may be the underdogs in this game and in this series, but they can find games where you just don't expect it from them.
And Carbon can find a Keystone Mastery as well, Rusty. It's Strength of the Ages, though. It's a bit boring.
Yeah, it's not a Thunderlords, unfortunately. He's going for the standard jungler Keystone Master, you'd have to say. Of course, Chelby doing the same thing. There was a moment and a time where Fervor of Battle and Thunderlords were starting to be seen more and more, but you can't get away from the stock and standard.
Yeah, it's a little bit sad, though. I mean, Choo Choo's even going for the Strength of the Ages as well. So Windspeaker's Blessing on Kuden. He could have gone Thunderlords at least, but no, Legacy opting in for a little bit more of the defensive options in their Keystones. Apart from Tally, who's got the Fervor of Battle, Paradise as well, equalizing that in the top side of the map. And same items there as well, as you can see. Everything just standard here.
And cast your mind back for a moment, Atlas, to week 4 of Legacy against Avant.
Oh, that's a long way.
They compiled themselves the Yasuo Zac combo and hit the Wombo.
They did.
This isn't too far away from that, really. An Alistar Victor and a Rek'Sai knockup. They have knockups and damage to layer quite effectively.
Not to mention Paradise with his Counter-Strike as well, AoE stun. It's all about the same range. So if Legacy are all standing on top of each other, it could be very, very scary.
Yeah, it's always going to be a possibility. It lingers in the minds of Legacy. But right now, 2-0 up. They are still looking commanding.
Yeah, Shiny Boy running out of bullets, looking for that last crit onto Kuden and finds it there, but answers for it with a Q. And King, of course, he just wants to push minions. Nice grenade.
Unfortunately, didn't kill the minions before it, so it doesn't do too much bonus damage.
Yeah.
Chenny's still doing well in this lane, as Kuden makes the most of that damage.
Yeah, Paradise doesn't find the stun onto Tally with his Counter-Strike taking level 1. Good Equilibrium strike for Tally. Make sure that he's going to be okay in this lane.
Pushing for level 2. Paradise is about to get it sooner, so Tally zones himself as bottom.
Whoa, yeah, Chenny down below 200 health as Jake's trying to peel. Has level 2. The empowered Q lands, and Jake now in trouble. Boomerang lands, good triumphant roar, but Jake takes both ticks. And Legacy well and truly in control.
Yeah, they are decimating this bottom lane. That's the strength that Kuden can have on that Karma, having extra poke there.
Yeah.
Jake will have the triumphant roar, so he doesn't have all-in pressure. There's no flash pulverize headbutt into your tower or anything available until level 3, but they will have help. If there's one thing that AV will have eventually, it is sustain in this lane. Just waiting for it to get pushed into them.
Yeah, this Cannon Creep probably will survive as well, so good news. Jake probably wants to grab that one with his Relic Shield if he picked it up. He did. Doesn't quite have a stack. Oh, nails it. Okay, Chenny Boy, you're right back in it in my book. 5 CS behind, but who cares? You've got the cannon.
And of course, that's the most important thing for you, Atlas.
Most certainly is.
Still, lane control is the other thing that Legacy have got right now, which means Carbon has some availabilities there. You can creep past that Scuttle Vision and is now working his way in, looking for the enemy jungler simply because his bottom lane can rotate. AV's cannot. But that is immediately reflected as opposites in this middle lane, where Choose has not had a lot of wave control. Until now, where Triple's mana is now waning.
Yeah, but good defensive play from Triple. Makes sure he gets out of the way knowing that Carbon was coming in. Paradise gets himself some free space with knowledge of the jungler on the top side of the map.
Yeah, he's pushing quite far forward, but it's not going to amount to anything, naturally, as he can't get ganked. But he is in an awkward spot where this wave, Tally can't freeze it, but it is in a spot where I wouldn't say Paradise wants.
Well, Shelby's going to find the knock-up as well. Easy first blood for Avant. Fantastic start for this team. Now 600 gold in the lead.
Super delicate, but executed very well from AV. That was a good move from Shelby. No summoners even burnt by Tally. Just means a free first blood in the pocket of AV.
Yeah, just fantastic layering of CC. Tally was dead before he had any options of doing anything.
Yep, couldn't stun anybody. They might have died if there was a stun under the turret. Just nothing really going Tally's way. But again, that strategy from AV, focus Paradise, get him going. It's still there.
Yeah, Tally now looking for a Phage as his first item. Had the opportunity of grabbing Sheen almost every single other time. And by almost, I mean actually. Carbon's coming over to steal some Raptors. Triple wants to get him out of that jungle, but doesn't have support at Shelby. He's only level 5.
Yeah, Triple has to be a little bit careful. There could have been a stray Spirit.
Whoa.
Hello.
Yeah, there's the flash headbutt as King right underneath the turret. Has to flash his way out. Shenny flashes over the top, but he's reloading. Another bullet has to come in. Can he get it? Heal was still there. And AV able to lock that one down. Paradise looking for more as he teleported in. Leap strike will be there, and he gets the kill through the shield.
But now 3-0 for AV. They're 1,000 gold ahead.
Welcome to the series, AV.
Yeah, and this third game feels like it's just all red.
Paradise just goes fishing. Love that skin as well. I mean, just brilliant from everyone. I mean, Choose is doing me proud. He's got the Nosferatu Vlad. But AV, most certainly not out of this one yet. And it was looking worrying.
Whoa, Tally. The smallest of things as well, right? Like, Telby goes top lane, they get the kill on a Tally. He teleports, and now Telby is making another move. Looking for Choose. Not going to be an easy find.
Yeah, throws down the Ghost. Pulls there to avoid the knocker. Shelby knows that cooldown.
Give me that health back.
Yeah, give me that. Crimson Rush. Easy peasy. So Choose now with the Ghost. Not too worried about the lack of movement speed for Vladimir at the moment.
Yeah, so it's just the Ghost gone. We'll have his flash, and that's the shorter of the cooldowns, that Ghost. Still be fine at this middle lane, but that's still Shelby being proactive, still making moves and getting it done for AV. As a result of Tally teleporting top, Paradise can afford to do so in the bottom lane. Gets a kill as well. This is a snowball potentially there for that Jax.
Yeah, has boots when he goes back as well after grabbing himself that kill. 46 CS for Tally in comparison to the 41 from Paradise, so still farming up quite nicely and has himself the Phage. So more of the defensive option as he starts off the Trinity Force. As Paradise tanks himself up a spear.
You don't want that.
Yeah, Counter-Strike is going to be available here as Carbon's taking a lot of damage. Hemoblade comes down, Choose flashes on top. My god, the damage as Carbon's going to grab it with a takedown. Legacy right on top of it.
Turns out he wants it. Paradise way too forward when there was people collapsing onto him. This is Choose having lane control. It means he can rotate. This is Legacy's mid laner displaying his capabilities of not just being grounded to that middle lane. He is a rotational mid laner at the moment, playing like an assassin on Vladimir.
And Tally as well. I mean, he had the wave in the perfect place. Paradise had nothing he could do towards the top side of the map.
And still doing that, right? Tally's got the freeze. So whilst AV are looking a lot better in this third game rather, Legacy have got answers.
And it feels like just strategy from Legacy. Keeping a cool head, making sure that none of this is getting to them. You can see the gold is completely even despite Avant having 2 extra kills. Nothing going wrong so far for Legacy that they can't really triage at this point.
And let's be fair, the kill that happened in the bottom lane is because King's playing so far forward under this turret. The flash is unpredictable.
Yeah.
He couldn't spell shield a flash and then just gets knocked under the turret. Look at the way they're playing still.
Oh my goodness, the snare comes in. King was wishing he had a boomerang available. Deadly Flourish doesn't find Kuden. And Carbon now looking for a gank.
He's
Shelby.
about to find Shelby.
Yeah, he's ready. And even Triple's coming down as well. Tremor Sense is going to spot out Carbon. Tunnel's already set up here as Prey Seeker comes in. Really good Deadly Flourish as Carbon has to flash. Chaos Storm was used already. Triple going to be without that cooldown and threw down the Ghost at the same time. Paradise throws down the Grandmaster's Might, actually looking for Tally here, who thinks this is a time to go in. Transcendent Blades will give him another Sheen proc, but doesn't use it onto Paradise.
Yeah, wins the trade. but I don't know how prolonged of a trade he can continue to win it. We'll push under the turret anyway with that Jax, and things will reset somewhat comfortably for Paradise. Of course, if he had a Sheen there, Tally, it might have been enough to burst out. Went for the phage route because he keeps getting traded on by this Jax. And again, Jax, huge snowbally champion, but Shelby is not addressing it right now.
Yeah, and Paradise is now 30 CS behind. So Tally goes back. We'll be able to get that item advantage as Jake here towards the bottom side. Kuden finding him. Not going to be able to do too much to the cow as Choose wanted some little raptors. Get some health back there at the same time. Triple just guarding that camp. Upgraded Hex score is in for the victor at the same time. As Tally now looking for another Rift Herald.
Going to get spotted doing this, and it's too early. They'll lose too much health with the Nidalee as their jungler. That's pretty risky. But thankfully for them, Victor doesn't have his ulti. Bottom lane still controlling and winning.
Well, now, yeah, Curtain Call comes in. Chenny lands the first one, gets the second onto a spell shield as Kuden walks out of range. Nice snare onto Jake. AV throw down a big cooldown, but get themselves some lane control.
Level 6 achieved by Chenny and just throws it out. Wins them the lane until recalls come in from Legacy, and they're not even recalling.
Yeah.
And once again, a lot of availability for a play with teleports up around the Drake. It's an Infernal Drake, and it's a Jhin composition. One thing that Legacy should be putting a very high priority on.
Jhin, Victor, Jax. Ridiculous. As King's in trouble, Headbutt Pulp comes in. He's going to burn to death as Jake now has the ultimate running. He's extraordinarily low, and Chenny Boy is not where he wants to be. Kuden answers that pick. Both AD carries are now dead. As Jake running away from spears, doesn't get hit. They see Triple moving down.
Yeah, Triple rotating down means they don't chase any further. Chenny does die. Already said King overstayed. He had no health. Even has his flash available, but just was not able to use it because he was locked. Either the CC there is mid.
Yeah, Hemoplay comes in. Choose wants this. The flash comes out of Triple. Tanks a turret shot, but Crimson Rush is going to keep him healthy. Triple will have to just move away.
Vladimir rule of thumb, and even trade is a one trade by a Vladimir. He'll be perfectly fine. Summon is also used. So Choose doesn't have his flash. It's very close. Could have been a kill. Was not.
Yeah, this is really cool out of Choose as well, deciding to go for very early cooldown reduction. Already has 20% with those Lucidity Boots in the Kindle Gem.
He's snowballing as well instead of going for the Spectre's Cowl route.
Yeah.
Instead of having magic resistance, he's opting immediately into what is potentially the Proto Belt. Of course, it builds in a Spirit Visage and Proto Belt.
So I'd like to see Proto
leaving himself quite flexible.
So depending on how things go, might see either. Boomerang going to find just the tip on a Chenny Boy.
Like, they're just winning this through laning phase right now. AV are making plays, constantly trying to get kills. And even if they get them, it's still a 30 CS lead for King. It's still a big advantage achieved by Tally. And still a big lead from Choo Choos. This is exactly what Legacy do to win games of League of Legends until they hit a power spike and say time to group.
Yeah, pull that trigger. As Choose has just been consistently winning this mid lane. Nice pulverize, but only lands onto Kuden. Carbon turns up. They're looking to try and grab this turret first blood, and they should be able to as well. Deadly Flourish comes in. There's the curtain call. Spear lands. My God. That damage was ridiculous. His last bullet does a lot of work to Kuden, but he survives.
Now they're moving 4 people down to this bottom lane, though. Accidentally makes a dragon angry, so it will be spotted. But again, that's a good move from Legacy. If they continue to pressure this bottom lane, Chenny not having his ultimate means they could actually get that turret first blood. But they hold off. They show some reservations about their strategy.
And Choose actually does decide to go for the defensive route with the Spirit Visage as well. Grabs it on his next back. Still 15 CS in the lead. Perfect Hex core, though, is there for Triple. A decent spike for the Victor. And the steal of the blue buff comes in as Paradise locks that one down for Triple.
Yeah, thankfully Choose is not too reliant on that one. It's nice to have a bit of cooldown reduction, but he's already at a fair percentage of it.
Yeah, 20%, not too bad.
Being a level 9 plus Vladimir, the Q cooldown is effectively non-existent at this point as it is.
Yeah. Well, Paradise makes his way back up to this lane. 15 CS down against Tally, but that margin has lowered. Garden was standing on top of a ward. Triple's still playing very defensively. Admirably as well, because he's had a fair bit of attention.
And no real advantages across the board, honestly. Either of these teams. Legacy are farming better, but AV are being more active in their ganks on the Rift.
Yeah. Couple of extra kills. Mantra Q comes down as Jake level 7 does have the ultimate, of course, but does have to be so careful. Down to 300 health as this Alistar, and this tower looking like the next point of focus for Legacy and will be the advantage that they're looking for, as the gold currently 200 between these two teams could erupt after this base is broken. We'll see whether Chelby can do anything.
Yeah, so Chelby's going to be spotted now. They actively now can just decide what Legacy want to do, as this is quite forward.
Yeah, it's Triple getting dove and just explodes on top of Triple with the Tides of Blood. Vladimir, everyone.
Good night, sweet Triple.
Nosferatu Vladimir does extra damage as well, Rusty, just so you know.
All right, man.
Yep.
If you say so.
Certainly does.
That's now potentially a mid lane turret being pressured at the same time as bottom, and Chelby's reacting to Carbon's move, so Legacy are still being in the forefront of these map plays. Once again.
Oh, well, there's the headbutt. Pole. Teleport's coming in from AV. They want to protect this turret. Teleport answered on the side of AV as King, burning to death by the Ignite, and AV don't quite know who they want to target. Really good stun comes out on Paradise, who leaps his way out, and Shelby may not be quite as lucky. There's the turnaround, the curtain call from right underneath this turret as Choose has turned up just in time, but it is just a disengage, and AV get out.
And good awareness from Carbon actually to block that last bullet from killing King. He was trying to get the Warlord's Bloodlust lifesteal there. And ends up no one dies. The turret still stands and teleports have been burnt. It was an Infernal Drake that also can't be touched because everyone's health bars and spell cooldowns are too big of a deal.
Yeah.
The deal breaker, however, was Choose being there, Triple not being able to, as he got 1v1'd.
Underneath his turret. In between his turret and his inner turret.
Sorry,
I
he
think
got
is what it was.
Vladimir'd.
Yeah, I think that's exactly the word. Perfect.
Caught on rotation, I believe, actually, from mid to blue.
Ah, yes.
So a lot of free burst available as First Blood.
Yeah, Tally's going to pick that one up. Gets the solo go for it as well. Might pay for it with his life. Uses the flash to get out, and Leap Strike's going to come in. The heal from King was just not in time. And Tally falls, but probably an even trade.
300 gold for 650 gold. Yeah, it's basically what we just saw. That's a pretty big Tally item spike.
Well, Paradise jumps over to Chelby. Spear is going to be tanked potentially, but does miss. Maybe get out.
Yeah, but that's still that first turret down. They can break more now. AV's response is go to the opposite side of the map, which means they give up the Infernal Drake. Not great. If they're just trading, they actually lose out on a big objective.
Yeah, this is a big deal. And this is one of the dragons that AV did really want to contest for all the reasons you listed earlier.
The last thing a Vladimir needs is a bonus to AP as well as a build champion.
You double scaled.
Yeah.
With the old AP. Thankfully, Jack's a little bit different in that regard.
Yeah, a little bit.
Would have been just completely ballistic had it been old Jack, but we're okay now. Everything's going to be fine. Tally takes himself down. Wolf Camp. Chelby unable to steal that one away.
Has no smite. He's now being collapsed on as well.
The Equilibrium Strike does get the stun, but Chelby able to tunnel his way out. Finds the rest of his team.
Lovely interaction between Rek'Sai tunnels and any kind of lockdown that isn't a displacement spell. Of course, you take the tunnel, the stun duration counts whilst you're tunneling. Because that's just what you do. When you're stunned, you can move.
Maybe it's like the tunnel's actually just a slide, so you don't actually need to be able to move if you're going through the tunnel. You just sort of go, buh.
So that's why it gets me, though, is because it's not a slide. It's a tunnel.
How do you know, man?
So unless it's
under the ground.
Unless it's like a preset. You know what? Pool Party Rek'Sai, I'm willing to forgive. He's on a water slide.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Okay, Chelby, you're going to have to adjust your skin. Otherwise, it's not going to work. How did he not activate that trap? That was very strange. He's gotten skinny, has Chelby. Triple here, tanking things up here in the mid lane. Trying to take control of this lane. Choose throwing out some Qs, and he's not taking very much damage at all. Even has a giant spell building towards the Rylai's.
Yeah, so Choose is definitely a powerful Vladimir at the moment. The real question past this point, as we've traded one turret apiece, is how do they respond now? We're at 18 minutes. They could continue the second turret trades and bring the Sivakama to the top side of the map. But at this stage, it looks like Tally just wants to hang out in this and maybe get a 2v2 off.
Yeah, well, Transcendent Blades flies through. Carbon's in here, lands the spear as Tally in trouble. Paradise is going to grab the kill, and now Carbon has to move out. The pounce comes in as Choose flashes on top of them. Tides of Blood for a lot of damage, and Carbon locks down Paradise. Choose going to once again use that E, and Shelby's going to follow. King even able to grab that kill, and Legacy just collapsed better.
That's the immediate collapse, right? Legacy were on the middle of the map, the dead center, deciding on what their next strategy was going to be. And they can just walk to topside because Jackson Rek'Sai were trying to make a play onto Tally. He may go down, but they immediately then trade, and King gets the kill. The recipient of that kill is now so far ahead. And look at Choose.
He just wanders up to triple. You can see immediately the Karma falls down as
This is
AV
ridiculous.
still in trouble. That burst damage is ridiculous. Takedown through the ultimate on Jake secures the kill for Carbon.
And Chenny's too slow. He
Yeah.
has no boots.
This is really scary, and we slowed the movement speed of Vladimir, but maybe not quite enough. As it is going to be the captive audience and Deadly Flourish that lock him down, and Chenny Boy gets out.
Rek'Sai will, of course, save it with the loud screech, but Legacy. Choose actually just walked up 1v3 and said, let's go, boys.
He said, no, not this turret, guys.
Yeah. Unfortunately, Kuden dies, as they are still mounting their defiances.
Yeah. Curtain call comes in, cancelled after a couple of bullets there from Chenny, but does dissuade Legacy's siege.
And Talisman going to be seen by the Alistar in this game. Of course, the item build has changed. It gives cooldown reduction, and it lets you build whatever the heck that thing is called that makes you move quicker near turrets, dead or alive.
The Raptor cloak, Rusty.
It's the armor thing.
The armor thing. The thing that should be built into a Zizirot portal.
Yeah, I know. That's why I was like really confused when I first saw it.
Yeah.
But it means that he has the
Or an Omewrecker.
potential engage tool there,
Yeah.
where you can pop the Talisman, and if you're near a dead turret, you move even faster and lock everybody down.
See whether it is going to work out here for AV. As Jake will be definitely one of those engage tools that they're looking towards. Triple now has all of his wave clear done. Merlin Omicron completed as well.
No.
As King just going to
Oh,
face
no.
check Paradise. Exactly not what he wants as he
Or
gets
is it?
himself the stun. The rest of Legacy have turned up. Paradise still wants it, but he's not going to... Oh my god! And he's still alive. Chaos Storm comes in as Triple now 1 versus 3. Just taking his turn, but might be able to get another kill. The flash comes down, but Baron gets so mad. And Triple's able to pick that one up at 2 for 2 in the end.
Kuden was dodging so long that he ended up in the Baron pit. Choose now. You need to be careful, buddy. There's 3 people there.
Spear
They don't
dodged
mind.
by Chenny. And Tally is going to launch his way in. Shelby tunnels his way out. Nice use of the knock-up onto Tally, but he's still so healthy. Chenny, decent positioning. Deadly Flourish doesn't find the Aurelia. And Dancing Grenade just scatters on top of this Legacy roster.
As much as Chenny wants to use his R button, it's not going to find any kills against the Legacy team. You get to see this one again. King no vision. Immediately just boots himself a little bit.
Yeah.
Has to run away from him. Unfortunately for King, the cooldowns are... Oh, hello.
Yeah, Carbon trying to get himself out. No flashes.
Wrong side of the rift.
Unfortunate. I was expecting Jake to go over there. He does have his flash. Just get amongst
Seeker will
it.
probably miss. The ward's missed.
Oh, Carbon cancels it. Deadly Flourish avoided as there's the headbutt pole. Shutdown comes in from Shelby.
Yeah, Carbon has no flash. He was on the wrong side. Unfortunately for AV, Legacy are winning elsewhere.
Not to mention, we were talking about scaling for AV. They definitely do have that. But Legacy this game most certainly do as well. I mean, Vladimir, phenomenal. Siva, amazing. And Aurelia, another one of those.
And it's just hilarious to, once again, tally 0-3 on Aurelia. Not having the best game of his life. They've got a 3-3 Jax opposing him, so you would say starting to favor more and more that Jax in the matchup that they are faced against each other with.
Yeah.
However, a 5-1 Nidalee and a 2-0-5 Vladimir could ultimately be the downfall of AV, who have given them the Vladimir to first pick.
Yeah, and they've both picked up their Rylay's Crystal Scepters as well. As Choose and Carbon have now the utility available to them, as well as so much health for Vladimir. It's just ridiculous.
Yeah, I mean,
He's
exactly.
a tank.
He's going to be doing a lot of damage whilst being reasonably tanky. Not only that, the Rylai is able to empower a Siva and a Karma composition.
Yeah.
So now we have 2 speed-up champions in the Karma and the Siva, alongside 2 slow-based champions now on the Nidalee and the Vladimir. Even past that point, the heals that Legacy have got, they can still pretty much match the split push that Paradise is putting down, because the Randuins is the choice for Tally.
Yeah.
He's going defensive to survive. It's more about how they now execute Legacy is to be careful.
Yeah, Talisman gets popped, but Kuden says, we're going to disengage. I'm sorry. Curtain call comes in. Kuden tagged by 1, but Primal Surge is there. The shield's down as well. And Choose puts himself in the way and says, I don't care about damage.
Yeah, so cancels the ultimate early. Jax is still taking blue buffs though, and is still in control of the 1v1. So AV, they get control of the area earlier, and that's what they're utilizing to try and make picks to stop Legacy from having control, because the second that control is there, the 4v4 is good for Legacy, whereas AV are trying to promote that 1v1 strength.
Shelby moves over the side here. King doesn't get hit by the Deadly Flourish, and they lock down the Dragon. Infernal and Cloud now in the back pocket of Legacy. And a 2,000 gold lead to boot. Like you were talking about, though, Paradise still a big deal. Has, of course, the Touch of the Void, I believe. Still not entirely
I think
sure.
it's Glimpse, actually.
Glimpse of the Void.
Yeah, it's Glimpse.
I like the Touch, but maybe that's just me.
That's what the goals are, really.
Yeah.
Maybe still in this game. It may only be 20 minutes in. 24, in fact. Legacy have won their last game in 29.
Yeah.
And so things might be favoring Legacy by having a gold lead in the 20s mark. But AV's composition is always in this game.
Oh, yeah. And they have so many opportunities to find their way to execute it as well. Fights around this Baron Pit will be strong for AV.
He just swept with an Oracle's on. That's not efficient.
No, also misses that ward as well, which is unfortunate, and has been caught out potentially by the Legacy bottom lane.
Now has no sleeper.
This is disaster.
Everything that could go wrong.
Oh no! Now he's caught by the jungler and mid laner as Choose over to the side. Jake, can he actually save his jungler here? As pull has to be used relatively early. Choose will get out of the way. Almost has his Zhonya's as well, 30% CDR.
Yeah, and isn't going Proto Belt, so missing a bit of cooldown reduction, but it's compensated by the boots of Lucidity.
I hope he gets Abyssal Scepter for the 40%. That'd be cool.
Vlad's W did get changed a little bit, 2 extra seconds on it, so that cooldown reduction would be nice to have.
Yeah, definitely important. He's now Carbon, poking his head around. We'll see whether this is going to be once again the pick as Chelby's looking for the knock-up. Good curtain call. The flash comes out of Carbon, though. Makes it into the brush.
Watch the Vladimir.
Will be able to prowl his way around. Choose now finds himself right in amongst everyone. The gravity field doesn't get the stun or the extra CC. Is now Triple has been caught out by Tally. Good Chaos Storm as Tally has to flash for King. Flashes his way over as well. Big Ricochet doesn't quite land into the back line of AV.
Yeah, they don't get the kills, but look at Legacy's vision right now. Look at the control that they have on the red side jungle of Avant. If they walk to this Baron Pit and even check, they're going through Legacy's vision and knowledge that they are there. This is a risky call from Legacy.
1 versus 4 right now as the pull does come in. Spear not going to find anyone. Grandmaster's Might down onto Paradise, who's looking for something, but it wears off. And Legacy back away from the Baron as well. So nothing to be gained.
No, nothing lost. Legacy pulled the risky move there. They tried to see if AV would not actually check, given the control they had in the way of wards. But AV do. Their spider senses were tingling. Good teams don't bait, I believe is the rule of thumb.
Uh-huh. I do like it from Legacy, though. Make sure they're testing AV at every single turn. If they can take something, they most certainly will. And King, he's still just waiting for that final item spike. Has himself the Hex Drinker, so he's going to be a little bit further away from the old Infinity Edge.
Yeah, that's the unfortunate thing. He also doesn't have the Phantom Dancer, went for Static Shiv for wave clear, so his dueling against that Jax isn't going to be as nice.
Yeah.
Means the burst is still going to be there from Paradise. Blade of the Ruined King Trinity Force build is split pushing inclined. He can 1v1 Tally, but if he ever gets into a team fight, gets onto King in the backline, it's not going to be pretty.
Oh no. Shelby getting slowed by Choose, but doesn't take a lot of damage. He's got that Spirit Charge there. Almost has his Randy Wins as well for a heck of a lot of health. And having that crit resistance, brilliant against King. This Carbon's been stunned, but still wants to throw sticks at AV. Whoa, King's tagged. Spell Shield comes in, avoids the rest of the slow, but Kuden takes the next bullet.
I mean, it's just going to
still
get
in the
healed
chamber.
up. I'm waiting for it. Now it's healing.
Yep, Primal Surge going to be there for Carbon if he wants it. As Deadly Flourish lands onto the Nidalee, this could be a big deal. Nice knock-up, but he gets shielded. Legacy not really taking damage from this. Teleport coming in for Tally as now AV on the run. Avoided is the boomerang from King, so Chenny keeps himself healthy. And Legacy now with a big cooldown now unavailable, and AV possibly able to find their way back in. Another Deadly Flourish. There's the flash knock-up as Kuden does still have that summon spell. Gets himself over the wall as Choose almost deleted. Uses the Zhonya's, still has the pull as he throws down the Hemo Plague. Chenny able to finish him off in the end with the help of Triple, but look at the damage onto this Jhin. That was a ricochet, I believe, as Tally caught up by the gravity field. And in goes Chelby, able to pick that one up. King, really nice spell shield. Death Ray doesn't find him, and AV in a good position.
Here they get the turret, so AV win a fight now at 28 minutes in. Things starting to look up for their red side at the moment in game number 3. The do or die reverse sweep necessity
that
Avant have got for themselves. King's damage is not there. He was in the perfect position to do damage there and just really didn't show up at all.
Nope, couldn't quite find it.
But there was a lot of big details in that fight. So it starts off, Kuden no mana, gets chunked out. He's a non-factor. Choose gets bursted before he can put his ult down, and so he has to zone you first. This means he's never going to get health back from that ulti. And it's because AV just run at them and lock them down constantly. If he got his health back from that ult popping,
Yeah.
AV might have died. But ultimately, they just had nothing that they could do. And look at King. He had a great spot here to do damage. Just didn't do any.
Didn't have the ricochet available for that part of the fight as well, so unfortunate. Still, 70 CS ahead. Carbon pounces his way out of this Baron pit, gets mad at Kuden after he leaves.
Oh, like, he's massive, actually, King, in comparison.
Yeah.
But it's the more of Malmortius that's there to keep him alive that's effectively going to where that goal could be an Infinity Edge or a Last Whisper. Something that can actually take you out as this 1v1 would be awkward.
Already is. Here is Paradise with the Grandmaster's Might. Is down. Not a lot of options here for Choose, but Crimson Rush, look at that. It is ridiculous. And now Paradise has to get himself out. The Leap Strike going to get himself over the top. And yes, at least now he knows that it's very difficult to take down this guy. Ooh, close Deadly Flourish as Chenny Boy throws down the ultimate again. Lands it onto Carbon, misses the second one, and the third, and the fourth one hits Kuden. Not quite enough damage there for AP to find themselves and engage.
No, Chenny not doing much damage at all, honestly. He's just there to press W and throw down the ultimate to slow people. They've got the combo of the P shooter from Rek'Sai with the Q. There's another Infernal to be seen.
Man, it's just going to be taken there. Choose actually locks that one down as On the Hunt has been popped. Shelby in trouble as he tunnels his way out. Hemoplague right in the back line, but Choose has been stunned up. Jenny over the wall, but Choose flashes after him and transfuses. Paradise over the side is trying to find King. Decent spell shield. Equilibrium strikes there, but Tally not able to save his AD carry. Triple kill comes in now as Choose uses the Zonyas and Paradise is looking to get out. Gravity Field is right there and Tally gets himself a reset. But Paradise honestly saved that for AV.
Paradise gets a triple kill and just decimates King, who still even had his flash available, but it's not going to be enough to get through an Aurelia and a Vladimir as an end result. And AV, they should have got out better for that because of Paradise's performance. And they've now put themselves into a little bit of a hole. Legacy have got so much team fighting strategy.
Oh, yeah. Too many threats.
And it all starts with Shelby getting caught as well, right? Like, look at Paradise. This is the best flank possible onto Carbon, King, and Kuden. They do not touch him because of the timing of that E. He even focuses Kuden first before saying, King, you're up. Actually just takes them all out piece by piece, but this exact same time, they've got Choose doing work, they've got Tally doing work. They come back, but the decision was not to actually kill Paradise from Legacy. It was to kill the rest of AV and then just try and kite back.
Yeah.
They didn't do it.
And they're two pseudo tanks, honestly left standing at the end. Tally and Choose just have so much sustain. I feel like AV run out of cooldowns and then they've still almost got full health.
Yeah, there's a lot of health that can be brought back from them. Still waiting on big item spikes, actually, from the side of Legacy. They want Void Staffs to be completed on both of their magic damage dealers.
Shelby seems to have found Tally here, but King's going to find his way over the side. Ultimate down, cancelled there by Chenny, as they found Triple just wandering through the jungle and Legacy able to pick that one up all too easily.
I'm not actually sure Triple even left that bush since the last time we saw it.
A little bit ridiculous. Shelby does find Kuden. Headbutt pole from Jake is going to land on top of the support as well. Teleport coming in as Hemoplague is already
They
down.
won't kill Paradise.
Yeah, Teleport is going to come in. Really good captive audiences down to stop Choose from finding a way out. As that Duskblade did basically nothing to the Vladimir, and Legacy aggressively start off this Baron.
Looked like pop rocks in his mouth, honestly. It just tickled and he walked away. Choose now zoning them. Shelby going in.
Yeah, looking for the potential steal, but they jump in straight away. Paradise over to the top as King flashes his way out. Good heal comes in there, but Paradise is still able to lock him down. 1 versus 4, and Carbon still has to try and escape. Good spear off the backside as Carbon almost dies to the Deadly Flourish. But Paradise is trying so hard this game.
And the thing is, they can't do the Baron afterwards because King is constantly dead. There is very little that Legacy are able to do. Paradise is starting to ramp up, and he is a big deal in this third game. They are committing to this one more time. The only reason that works out for them is because Shelby blind checks if the Baron was taken to steal it at about 5,000 hit points.
They actually just committed to it as well. Spear does go wide as Shelby just looking to clear out vision. Does so quite nicely. Baron is going to get mad at him, but not too mad.
So Legacy don't get the buff. AV do live to see another day, as does the Baron itself. Mr. Nasher would be happy about this, but we were still waiting for the item spikes from Legacy.
Yeah.
They are starting to come across now. About 500 gold more for Carbon. He's got his Void Staff. Choose just bought his. We are waiting on a last Whisper, though, from King, who has committed to an Infinity Edge as his 4th item, which is reasonably inefficient for item slots. The man needs a lot of money and fast.
Yeah, and also still needs to have that pink ward in his back pocket as well. Legacy rely on their vision so much. They do have the Tremor Sense, a little bit more of a luxury.
As an afterthought as well, if I was Channy, I would have went Black Cleaver here. Just make your team stronger. Yeah, going for like a rapid fire cannon's nice. He'll be doing a lot of auto attack damage still. 20% CDR, throw out more Ws. I like it. Let your team be strong. And apparently, Triple doesn't need blue buffs.
No. Not this time. Shelby just takes that one down for himself. And Triple was hanging out around this Baron area as well as Legacy. Do want to start this one up again. Carbon throws a stick in it, but no. Not going to happen this time. They've got so much vision around this area. Once again,
Committing
Legacy
again.
going to start, yeah.
Carbon takes a lot of
Jake turn
damage. They're just baiting. Again, they're playing around vision. They've got pink wards set up everywhere. As long as they control the river and the mid lane minions, Legacy are looking good. And they want Shelby.
Yeah, on the hunt comes in as Tally looks for Triple. Gravity Field goes down. Tally is going to be stunned, but there's the Hemo Plague. Triple just melts, and Shelby's going to be the next target. Paradise once again has found King. Spell Shield goes down, but Paradise has been stunned up. Looking for Carbon now, but the Primal Surge is there. Good shield comes in, but he doesn't survive for too long. Double kill comes down now for Tally. Despite everything, they're still able to get 3 for 1.
And at this stage, it's because Tally is doing what Paradise is doing that Legacy looks stronger than AV. That Jax is a monster. Legacy aren't stopping.
Just going to face check as the Pulverize comes in. Jake still has the headbutt, but he's going to get snared. Uses his ult, so he's going to be relatively healthy, and Choo Choo says, "You're not worth my time," as they walk towards the Baron.
Yeah, it does it as an active attempt to ensure that the Jhin lives. Right now, speaking of the Jhin,
he is the hero that we're looking for right now.
I really don't know if they can do this. There's 2 people still here from AV. Legacy do not know that they are there.
Jake has got flash. The headbutt, Pulverize, steal. Will it happen? No, it doesn't. He flashes over the top and dies.
Chenny actually stacked up a crit, so they knew he was coming. Yep. And he looked to flash the wall and crit steal the Baron. Does not get it. The clutch moves from Legacy secure, and it's all coming down to killing Triple first. The Wombo is not available because he is destroyed. Paradise's decision here was to focus Carbon instead of King when the spell shield was down. The bit creative, because once again we get to see how Tally gets a double kill and barely lives.
Yeah, really cute one is Triple. I mean, I've seen this one before. Spear doesn't land, as Jake now has to run away. Legacy with even more time on the map after that Baron was taken. We'll see whether they take it next. Every inner turret is available for Legacy right now as Shelby with his GA looking aggressive.
They have actually kicked this one off. King needs to show some respect to the damage it's doing. If Paradise shows up, which he is.
Yeah, teleports right in there as now Legacy have started off this fight. Jake throws down the ultimate, looking to buy some time as Paradise just going to kite this one away. Legacy looking to take down the cow, and he does fall. King grabs the kill. Kuden over to the side as Shelby's actually looking for a re-engage. Ultimate's used from Chenny. Kuden actually going to flash out of the way as the Elder Drake was going this whole time. And Carbon locks that one down. Kuden now trying to get them into a good position as Triple. Lots of burst. Chenny grabs himself that first kill, but has to be so careful. Tally looking for more as Choose, just doesn't care about anything. Hemo Plague grabs his kill onto Triple, his lane opponent, and Paradise now in the backline is able to get a double kill. Takes down King, but Choose just tides the bloods him. And that is going to be enough. Flashes for the Crimson Rush. And he's going to be able to kill Chenny as well.
Takes out a tunnel on his way through the turret. Does 836 damage to Chenny Boy. The Elder Dragon buff is a very big deal. Not only that, they have the Baron to augment it. And this is now Legacy in the driver's seat.
10-1 and 11. Rusty, Choo Choo's is so big right now.
Last time we saw Choose play Vladimir, he solo carried the game.
Yep.
No surprises to see this from him one more time.
Yeah, Tally's actually tanking up this turret. They're going to focus the inhibitor turret down, and Jake, now without the ultimate, just gets Blade Surge to death. And that is going to be inhibitor dead, as Shelby cannot do anything to stop it.
And what was the 0-3 Aurelia is now 4-4. AV, on the back of Paradise, are trying their absolute hardest to win these fights and win these games. They're just not getting there. Look at Choose. The fact that he exists And Chenny's response is, I'm just gone. Like,
Yeah.
there's nothing left for me but death, and I will not actively pursue that. The saving grace has consistently been that Paradise has killed King. With this damage, this flashes 836.
Oh dear. Did he get another assist out of somewhere? Yeah, he did. He managed to take down Jake, of course. Now EV at least grab themselves the red buff. They're still trying to scale. CS values not too much of a problem, as apart from the 80 carry position, as King is now 140 CS in the lead.
Chenny.
There's Chenny now going to try and run away from Carbon. My god, that combo doing so much work.
Tally's
Tally
dead.
gets collapsed on, however, and Jake picks up the kill. Curtain call from a safe position, and they've got two already. Jake finds
Legacy.
Juicy, can't get into this fight, and Paradise takes down King. Carbon, the next one in his sights. It's a decent slow, but can he get away from this is the real question. There's the death ray. Carbon still pouncing. They're waiting for more cooldowns. Will make it to the brush. Pounces again. Primal Surge. Actually might have been a bit of a waste of time, but he's still pouncing.
Yeah, he's alive.
And he gets out.
He actually almost gave away.
Choose, however. Yeah, in a little bit of trouble. He doesn't have flash. Crimson Rush going to be there.
He's
Uses
pretty
it for
quick.
the movement speed. Yeah, so fast.
Everyone's just running from Paradise.
Yeah.
There's a song about this, I think. You're always going to be the one.
I only know the Phil Collins one. Paradise is going to find Choose, has another pool available as he's looking for the red buff, does find it. And Choose looking to follow up. Spear lands! Whoa, if Choose had committed to that, might have been able to pick that kill up, but didn't have any cooldowns left.
And the
Paradise gets
only
out.
good thing that came from that was that AV are still chasing Legacy to the point where they got nothing from winning a fight.
Yeah, and now Choose finds his way all the way in. Look at the damage as he throws down the Zonyas.
No
Gravity
ulti.
Field's in a good position. He will get himself out. Chaos Storm does relatively little as Tally's found Jake on the backside. Legacy were given an opportunity to respawn. That spear does half of the blue buff's health bar. That was exciting as Tally now flashes onto Chenny Boy. He's looking for the kill on the 80 carry. Decent use of the
Choose is
Randuin's
covered.
Omen. And there's the Hemo Plague. Choose looking for Chenny. He will just... Oh, that did so much damage! What?
Where did he go?
I wasn't ready for that.
No one was.
ready at
Here's
all.
a Death Cap Vladimir, by the way. Legacy now
That's
looking
6
towards
items.
ending.
Just ridiculous. These minions, super creeps moving up the mid lane are going to follow towards the Nexus. Paradise finds King again, but On the Hunt has been popped, and Paradise cannot tank through this damage. Carbon takes down Triple. Shelby will be taken down to his GA as he tunnels through the Nexus, and Choose now playing Gatekeeper on this fountain.
Oh, no.
Massive 3-man knockup. Another one from Shelby as Tally falls down. Carbon bouncing around this fight, but Choose still alive. Flashes his way out. Tides of Blood. Paradise is going to get transfused. Choose gets the majority of his health bar back as Kuden flashes forward. King picks up the kill, and this is going to be a Game 3 victory for Legacy. 1, 2, 3, and they're into the OPL final.
12, 1, and 15 was the end score for that Vladimir. And if that's not an MVP-worthy performance this entire series, then I don't know what is.
Yeah.
Choose just went mental, and Legacy as a team, a well-deserving 3-0 victory to the semifinals.
Just an unbelievable Vladimir performance. An MVP, that M does definitely not stand for mediocre
No, it
in
stands for
this
most.
instance. Most certainly does, as my goodness, such a powerful performance. Have to mention the fact that Paradise finally got on the jacks, finally got some work done in this series. But it just flat out wasn't enough, and it shows that Legacy, even when they get tested at all, as they shake the hands of their fallen comrades, they are able to just come back into form.
Yeah, they definitely have found their stride here. AV, we always called them the underdogs coming into this series. I said there's always the possibility that AV take a game, maybe the whole series.
Yeah.
Nobody underrated them, but Legacy just put on a clinic, especially in that third game through the middle lane.
Yeah, and we heard from Carbon as well, the fact that Legacy were never going to underestimate Avant. They looked fantastic in the tiebreaker series. This is a team that really means business. We're going to be looking at them for the next split. Of course, the first split of 2017 will be a big one for Avant, I think.
Yeah, Avant definitely looking up. That was a fantastic season from them, and I do look forward to seeing what's there from this future Avant-Garde side. But for now, Legacy are our first team to make it to the finals. They're going to Brisbane.
They are most certainly out to face either the Direwolves or Chiefs. I'm not sure which one they would prefer at this stage, but of course already booked themselves a spot. Could be that Chiefs Legacy final one more time, but we are going to throw it back to the analyst desk to break down that 3-game victory by Legacy.
Well, there we have it. Our first finalist is going to be Legacy after they downed Avant-Garde 3-0. Let's start by talking about this first one I want to make with you guys. I asked you for your MVPs. None of you picked up Paradise. And in that game, we saw him taking on 4 people at a time.
Yeah,
you couldn't kill him.
As far as Jax play goes, that man's a Jax player. And I think that, whilst Avant-Garde weren't able to really pick up a victory here, Paradise definitely did. And I think that lots of people will turn their heads towards the rookie because he's had a pretty good split and a very good final.
Oh, my goodness. Let's go some early impressions of that game. It seemed like an early lead was taken by Avant-Garde, but then, Legacy's just too strong in the end, right?
League of Legends fans everywhere have a term for this, Hingers, that I'm going to bring you in on, and it's called Clown Fiesta. And what we mean by this term is where, you can just cue up the Benny Hill music and have 15-minute team fights, because these two teams, I don't know if maybe Choo Choo's took issue to something that was said in an earlier interview, or, Paradise just wanted to kill everyone, but they were chasing each other all over the map for us. This was an ugly, scrappy game of League of Legends.
Now, Spawn, we call it chaos style, not clown fiesta. That's the correct terminology for this. No, it was very clear that Aaron had a beef to grind there on the Vladimir, had a phenomenal performance throughout the entire series, but specifically in this last game was the big carry on campus. His team needed him a little bit sooner to kind of turn and deal with that Jax as the big AP carry, but it was hilarious just watching Choo Choo's like, guys, just take the Jax. I got all 4 of them over here, and he turns around, his whole team's there. He's like, oh shit, I got to take care of this.
Yeah, and but that comes back to something that we've been talking about, is that Legacy are a team that I don't know if throwing the gaunt like this is a good idea. And I used to say this about Chiefs. Chiefs, okay team fighting team, but you don't want to do it against Legacy because they have one commanding voice, which is Carbon, and I feel like they do follow his calls incredibly well throughout these late games team fights. It's something they've always been good at, these coin flip situations. And, Avant gave him about 15 coin flip situations there, and Legacy won every single one of them, so maybe it's not a coin flip.
All right, well, let us hear straight from the horse's mouth. I'm going to throw to one of the players right now who's talking to Atlas.
Thank you very much, Hingers, and I'm here with Aaron Choo Choo's Bland, the man in the mid lane, and that Vladimir God from the final series.
Thank you.
Just ridiculous stuff. That scoreline was out of control. And I'm going to start this off asking about, okay, so Triple had some choice words for you at the beginning of this series. Actually had an interview and said that, potentially a mediocre mid laner. I think you've definitely set the record straight. But are you feeling in form at the moment? This feels like a new and improved Choo Choo's right now.
I definitely understand why he called me mediocre. I actually told myself that I felt like I fell behind quite a fair bit during the mid-season. But I really focused a lot on improving, especially I was quite selfish actually in a lot of teams. But in the long run, especially today, I was really happy. So, and I think I definitely showed that I've improved.
Yes, you most certainly did. The Talia performance was utterly fantastic. That last Vladimir game was definitely a standout. And you guys actually looked incredibly comfortable here. Of course, moving to 6.15, very new patch, adjustments had to be made. How did it go transitioning from sort of lane swap meta to let's never lane swap again?
Yeah, it was kind of bad for us, to be honest. We really didn't think about how drastic this change was. So when we were told that the finals were going to be 6:15, we just prepared as fast as we could. I think every team's really done that. And I think Calvin and Kuden, or King and Kuden, are really have a really good synergy at the moment from the start of the split to now. And I think they solo killed them a couple times. So I was really happy with that.
Yeah, King and Kuden actually played out of their minds, especially games 1 and 2. That Trundle and the Bard from Kuden really was a career-defining performance from the bottom lane, so looked brilliant. I got one more question. Of course, we've got Direwolves versus Chiefs coming up tomorrow in our next semi-final, and I dare to ask you, of course, who do you think you'd prefer in that grand final in Brisbane?
Would be kind of repetitive saying the Chiefs again, but I'm going to say the Chiefs again just because, I don't know, I have to beat them. The finals, Legacy Chiefs, it just has to be. So, sorry, Direwolves.
Yeah, it's just one of those things, the inevitability here in the Oceanic scene. So thank you so much and congratulations, Choo Choos. Still our OPL legend title holders and now our finalists here. And we're going to throw it back to you, Hingers.
Thank you, Atlas. Well, Chuchu's just saying that he would rather play the Chiefs in that final tonight. I mean, watching the games tonight, do you think this sets them up well for going into that final if they do indeed play against the Chiefs? Frosco?
Ooh, that's really hard to say just because, frankly, Avant didn't challenge Legacy very much. I feel like Legacy really hardly kind of broke a sweat. We expected those games to be much closer, but even when Legacy fell behind early, they were still able to regain control in the mid game and then just dominate Avant-Garde and late game decision making, you know, barring some great individual performance from Paradise. Whereas Chiefs Direwolves, I mean, this was the appetizer, and tomorrow's like the main course because obviously you have much closer competition in those seeds, and Chiefs are just on a whole nother level. The context or like the asterisk to that, though, is that the Chiefs really haven't been tested since they've come back into form. You know, they slumped for a little bit where they faced like their really tough schedule. Then they came back and just smashed Sin. They looked phenomenal. Their map movements very smart across the map. But it's like, will they look as smart and as clean if they face someone who's actually worth their time?
And like on the same note, I mean, both of the Direwolves and Chiefs have had a roster swap.
Sure.
I mean, like, can they even play a macro game of League of Legends right now with utility and initiation being on the 80 carry so much? I mean, you have to be able to trust that that's going to land, and you have to know when they're going to pull the trigger on it. You know, with Rays moving over to the Chiefs and Radier going over to the Direwolves, it's going to be interesting whether any of that really does play a big impact in the final.
All right, well, I'm going to get more of your thoughts on that game tomorrow in a second, but let's look at the bracket right now. For tomorrow, we're going to be seeing Direwolves versus Chiefs, that second semi-final for that second place in the final, which is next week. It is so close. It is so close, you guys. So, Frosco, you're not going to be here tomorrow, so let's run through. The context is Direwolves versus Chiefs. They're playing for that final semi-final spot. They are also, as Spawns just said, roster swap, direct swaps. I mean, these are basically untested lineups right now in competitive play.
Yes, untested lineups, although I think it is very fair and has been very tested that right now, Radier is not performing to the expectations that we thought he did. You know, when Chiefs were slumping, a lot of the finger pointing, if you will, especially on the analyst desk, went to Radier's individual performance on Jhin. So I definitely think that it's actually an upgrade that the Chiefs made in terms of just raw individual 1v1 talent. And now it becomes a question, you know, the Chiefs have been together for so long. You have to have faith that they know what they were doing, that they said that there was a fundamental difference about how they were playing the game, and so hopefully they find the synergy, and you know, Quinn looks good for them.
Yeah, it certainly does, and you know, at the same time, Rady is very happy. Now, he said one of his goals was to play for another team. I think that is going to be there. His university's over for the year. He can really focus in on this. I think that this was a swap that will actually help both teams. Direwolves now have a very veteran bottom lane with Regret and Radier. Of course, they want to book their spot at Korea Mail Piazza, August 13th, OPL Finals. Haven't been able to do that one in a while.
With your good friends at...
Yeah, Hoyt. We'll get to them in a second. However, I said last week on Twitter, you know, if I had to pick one player to build a team around right now, it would be Raze. I think he's the best player in the league. He's so skilled mechanically. I just can't see new bottom lanes where it does come down to very much like how well you can actually micro against your opponent. I just don't see anyone beating Ejim and Raze right now. They're just too damn good.
All right.
Best support, the best AD carry in the league.
Frosco, you're going to be here tomorrow, so let's just get your predictions on Direwolves versus Chiefs. Now your colours to a mast. I want no cowardice here. Pick a team. Let's go.
It's Chiefs.
It's
100%.
Chiefs. 100%.
Chiefs.
Oh, my goodness. All right. Well, that is enough from us here. Thank you for watching. That is a 3-0 win Legacy over Avant-Garde. We'll be back tomorrow from 6 p.m. with Chiefs Direwolves, that second semi-final. From all of us here at the desk, we'll see you tomorrow. Bye.